Hello and welcome to this Leader of the Pack special. I am TJ Hopkins. I am a senior here at Northern Illinois University majoring in broadcast journalism and history.
I am Alex Isom and I'm in my senior year majoring in broadcast journalism. I also am a track athlete here at NIU.
And I'm Julian Nunnery and also a senior majoring in sports journalism.
Leader of the Pack is a new segment for NCC News Tonight where we highlight an exceptional athlete whose work on and off the field makes them stand out.
Our first leader of the pack is wide receiver Kenny Golladay. Since transferring from North Dakota, Golladay has been spectacular on the field, averaging 102 receiving yards a game this season.
The Huskies are off to a disappointing start this season. The football team lost their first 3 games of the season. Despite the team's rough start, wide receiver Kenny Golladay is finding a way to stand out in the pack. Golladay says last season was a learning experience for him, but this season he is coming in with a better understanding of the offense.
Once you understand the offense a lot, everything come, natural. I'll be able to know where I need to be, what time I need to be, and me and the quarterback just be on the rhythm, on the same page rather.
Last season, Golladay had 73 receptions for 1,129 receiving yards and 10 touchdowns. He was second team Mid-American Conference selection. Golladay had one offer at a high school from North Dakota University. After 2 years at North Dakota, majority of the coaching staff was fired. Golladay says that's what led him to make the decision to transfer.
I just decided to, make my own highlight tape pretty much and, just weigh my options, And once again, I only had one offer in NIU.
So far this season, Golladay has 19 receptions for 259 yards and 3 touchdowns. He has potential to be an NFL prospect.
You're going to create a little buzz, if you got to do what you got to do every Saturday, week in and week out. I can't control, who all look at me. I can just control if I'm doing my part come Saturday.
With 2 more games left this season, Golladay has caught 8 touchdowns and has over 1,000 receiving yards. Golladay is getting scouted by NFL scouts, and he could get drafted.
He's 6'4", 215, 220, and that's a prototypical NFL receiver, so I think he has a good shot.
Me too. We'll just see what the scouts think.
Moving to the volleyball court for our second leader of the pack, Mary Grace Kelly spiked our interest. Mary Grace Kelly is a senior on the women's volleyball team at NIU. Playing at outside hitter, she is one of the key pieces for the team. For Kelly, volleyball is more than a sport. For her, it is a tool.
Basically, an outlet for me. I'm just able to, find a way to be a good teammate, and that's really important to me. And
a part of being a good teammate is communicating. Communication is very important in volleyball.
It's a huge role. We definitely see a drastic change in our communication between games we win and games we lose. There's a front row in volleyball and a back row, so if we can keep both units in communication the whole game, then we have a better chance of being on the same page, executing the game plan and stuff like that.
For Kelly, getting the point on the kill is special because of all the hard work.
Because there's a good pass that got into that play, there was a good set that got to you, a good serve, all that comes together. So as hitters, we have the opportunity to get a gain from all of that hard work that comes into that play.
So far, the team is off to a 10-4 overall start and a 2-0 start in conference play. After losing the first set to Western Michigan, Kelly led the way with 14 kills, sparking the Huskies to win the match 3-1. Coach Ray Gooden had this to say about his spectacular outside hitter.
She's important to our team, not just in that one particular match, but I feel, being a senior, with the amount of experience she's had on our team, with the number of matches she's played in, the number of sets she's played in, she figures in to have a real big hand in what we do in our team's success.
Gooden feels very confident about having a player like Kelly in his back pocket.
I mean, it's nice to have. I think you want your stars to play like stars. And I don't know if she calls herself a star as more an important role on the team. She wants to be a leader. She wants to have a big impact.
Kelly is a senior for the Huskies and is having a bounce-back season compared to last year. Last season, she had 155 kills. This season, she has 307, which is a career high.
Don't forget that the Huskies go into their MAC championship game this weekend too.
I mean, they're 23-5. They have the top seed in the MAC, and they have a first-round bye. So if they win out, they go to the big dance.
One more interesting off-the-court note about Kelly, she's a pre-physical therapy major and she minors in sign language.
Oh, wow.
And she was actually asked if Olympic volleyball was in her future, and she said no, just more physical therapy. Heading back to the football field, for our third leader of the pack, we touched down with quarterback Anthony Maddie.
After a breakout performance against Ball State, NIU QB Anthony Maddie is this week's leader of the pack. After sparking a near comeback against Western Illinois, Maddie earned his first career start against Ball State, and Maddie did not let the chance pass him up. He set career highs against Ball State. He rushed for 160 yards, the bulk of that coming from a 75-yard touchdown run. He also threw for 298 yards and 2 touchdowns. However, Maddie has not always been in the spotlight since he transferred to NIU from Western Michigan, serving mostly as a backup to regular starting QB Drew Hare. Even with Hare being injured, Maddie still had to wait his turn when Ryan Graham got the start over him against San Diego State. But Maddie still kept his confidence even though it was challenging at times.
Obviously it was tough, and like nobody expects that coming into college, out of high school. That's not what you think is going to happen.
Head coach Rod Carey has worked hard at keeping Maddie ready to play at all times, but he says it's on him to keep his spirits high.
We knew that if we got him back and going, he was going to perform well, and he certainly did.
When playing time becomes an issue, most players transfer schools. Maddie chose to stay at NIU not only because he likes the school, but he had help staying motivated.
It's just having good people around you that keep you focused and caring about the game and loving it, and understanding that at some point you'll get a shot.
There are players like Anthony Maddie across the country waiting to get their turn. He even gave them some words of encouragement.
Just push through. It's going to get tough. It definitely was a lot of tough times, but most of the time, if you're going to get an opportunity, you just got to make the most of it when you get those chances.
Maddie is a senior this year who earned his first career start against Ball State.
He set career highs that game. He had 160 yards on the ground, and then he threw for over 200 yards, 2 touchdowns. It was like his coming out party because he solidified his role as the starting quarterback. But it was unfortunate that he got hurt this game. Well, what game was that?
I think it was the Toledo game. He got hurt, so he's out for the season now.
Oh, well, then you said they was trying to hope he'd be back this week, but his ankle looked...
Yeah, they tried to make his ankle better, but I don't think he's going to be back for this game.
That's unfortunate. The next leader of the pack focuses on a team instead of one individual person, the women's cross-country team. The women's cross-country team finished second in the MAC Conference Championship meet. It was their best finish in school history. There are 12 schools in the MAC Conference, so the teams are ranked 1st through 12th. Historically, NIU has finished either last or close to last. That trend continued up until this year. In just one short year, Coach Adrian Myers turned this team from last place finishers to title contenders.
So for us, obviously, the next step is trying to bring the trophy home. So we've got a good recruiting class, we got a good group returning, and everybody wants it. So that makes my job easy.
People tend to think that track and cross country are the same because they both involve running. Track tends to focus more on individuality, while cross country focuses more on the team. Unlike track, where the highest team that scores wins the meet, cross country is like golf, where the lowest score wins the meet. There are 5 runners at a time for a team. The team's success is based on those 5 runners as a unit, not as individual runners.
You can do well if you have 2 superstars, but you still got to have 5 that are competitive in the shoot. So if you have a 5th runner that's really far off, it could kill your team score.
Since the team is so dependent on solidarity, it is important for each person to hold her teammate accountable. During a meet, they use each other for motivation to keep going and beat their opponents together.
You're pushing yourself against everybody, but in the back of your mind, you can think about your teammates who are out there too, and either in front of you or behind you. And having your team out there is such a big component of it, and knowing that you're not racing just for yourself, but you're also racing for those people who are out there with you.
Historically, the women's cross-country team has finished near the bottom of the MAC. This past season, they finished second, the highest ranking in school history. Next season, they hope to bring a championship to NIU. It only took Adrian Myers 2 short seasons to turn this team from worst to first. And you know Adrian, he's also your track coach, so you can sort of attest to.
Yeah, he came in and he was really excited about getting the track team back on track, and they're doing the best that they ever done this season. So.
And Julian, you helped me cover the cross country team, and he talked about how it's important for a team to, especially them, to come together as one instead of focusing on the individuality of a team.
Right. Cross country is extremely a team sport, so it's important that each member of the team is highly involved in all aspects. Our most recent leader of the pack is NIU goalkeeper Drew Donnelly. Donnelly has dreams of playing for Manchester United, but for now remains NIU's leading goalkeeper. After an impressive start to the season, NIU goalie Drew Donnelly is this week's leader of the pack. He continued his strong play this week against Bowling Green, picking up 5 saves and only allowing 1 goal. Donnelly has taken over a leadership role for the team this year.
As a goalie, you're kind of the only player in the field that can actually see everyone in front of you, and you have the whole team in front of you. So I guess one of the main roles is just prevention and making sure that everyone's in the correct positions.
Goalkeeping is arguably the toughest position to play in soccer. It requires a significant amount of timing and agility.
A lot of it just comes with training every day. There's a lot of technique to the way you dive and the way you catch the ball, and just a lot of different situational things. A lot of it's positioning. Getting in the right positioning and taking off the angle of the shot is huge.
Although the team is off to a rough start, Donnelly still believes the team can turn the season around and finish strong.
I think a lot of it's just continuing to have belief in the team and just treating all the guys well. I mean, we obviously aren't too happy with the results, but after the game's over, we always just move forward.
Donnelly has started all 12 of the team's games this season. So far, he's acquired 48 saves and holds a solid save percentage of .66. It's unclear whether or not a professional career is waiting for him, but with this only being his junior year, Donnelly has plenty of time to improve his game and impress scouts. Donnelly had a strong game against Western Michigan. He actually picked up 9 saves on 24 shot attempts, and he actually ended his season strong. He finished the season with a save percentage of .7.
One thing that always baffled me about soccer is like the goalie defending such a large area like the net and all that, because they're not the tallest person or they're not the biggest person. They have to defend such a big area, so that's always something to me.
Right. It sounds like Donnelly had a great season.
This whole process was fun. Like the only thing that was hard about it was like scheduling the athletes for their interviews. So it was, but when we did conduct the interviews, both parties were humbled and they were more than happy to participate in this. And with that being said, this was Leader of the Pack, and we hope you enjoy the show.